Leo, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. My name is Jenna. Today I'm here to do your 2025 annual year in review. We're going to go season by season and take a look at the primary energies you're going to be dealing with. I'm going to be using a few oracle decks, a few tarot decks. I want to get into the major themes, what you could anticipate for the year ahead. All right, let's call Spirit in. Thank you for joining me. Happy holidays to all of you. I'm just kind of peppering these in amongst social engagements. So hope you're having a wonderful holiday season wherever you are in the world. And I'm sending you lots of love and holiday cheer. All right, thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for Leo today. Okay, Leo, I've got several major arcana decks combined in one, and I want to get the major theme for you for the year and represented by a major arcana. And we're going to clarify all these energies further with full tarot decks. All right, we're going to get into all three. I'm going to take it. All right, this is what wanted to come out. This is absolutely phenomenal. You all, we've got two of one deck, another of another deck. But the first one that I saw was the Sun. Leo. Leo. You have the opportunity to experience a lot of happiness, joy, because you have star energy. This indicates you've either done a lot of healing work and you are in a point in your own soul's development where you feel radiant, lighter. You know, I'm getting overall this grouping. This is gorgeous energy. I mean, my goodness, Leo. I felt like today was the day. We're on Christmas Eve here in the Northern Hemisphere where I reside in Rhode Island. But we have the sun, the star, and the Wheel of Fortune. So this speaks to me on a very deep level that this year is going to be highly symbolic of you learning from past karma and the healing work that you've done to reach a level of joy and contentment within. And when we do this, folks, you know, you still go through stuff, but it doesn't feel as heavy or as difficult, or there's not as much resistance. Basically, this is stepping out of the matrix and feeling more unified within. And your inner reality is mirroring a outer reality now. And that truly is star, right? I'm aligned with the cosmos, wheel, right? I'm aligned with my destiny. And I feel joy, happiness, enlightenment. This could be a very deeply, deeply spiritual year of you feeling lit up from within. And it does feel like there's some sort of destined, I would say not just experience, but experiences that will be unfolding for you out of the lessons that you learned in 2024. Okay, let's go into your major theme for winter, represented by the major arcana. Now we have two coming out: Judgment and Justice. Whoa. Wow. Talk about the divine stepping in. I'm telling you, I'm getting this overall feeling that Leos as a collective in your zodiac, you have this potential, this possibility to override the wheel of karma and to make decisions that lead to you creating more balance in your life. And this whole energy, if you feel like you're not in this energy at all yet, the sun, the star, and the Wheel of Fortune, basically a master of your own destiny and aligning so much within that everything feels aligned in your world, you know, your work, your relationships, your family life, money, stability, security. So there's something that's shifting in the winter for you or the summer, and it has a lot to do with you going through a period of renewal and rebirth that brings a feeling of true balance in your life. If you want to get down to simple examples, you know, justice, whenever it appears, it's wrongs being made right. It's feelings of forgiveness, of self-acceptance on the past. Major work. And I think you're starting to make decisions, or have been making decisions in recent months, I'm hearing, for a lot of you, to make decisions that bring about balance and only healthy experiences for you. You're telling me if it's not balanced, I know what to do, Jenna. Okay, now let's get into the second season. Now we're going into spring. which is seeing any of those seeds grow from the, it's like you're making decisions that take care of, where you are taking more care of your needs from a balanced perspective of, not only am I giving, I also have to receive as well. It goes both ways. Ooh, now we have a new beginning. Now 1 just came over from 3 to 2 to 1, major arcana. So we have in the springtime, all right, or that would be fall for everyone in the Southern Hemisphere, a brand new journey that you will be embarking on. We're going to get into what that journey is about, but it's like you're going back to this, maybe this frequency in the springtime where, again, this feels like this year is going to be a lot lighter for you. Whenever we see the Fool, he's stepping off with a feeling of hopefulness about what lies ahead. So whatever you're looking at starting or beginning, especially in the spring season, the seeds you're planting, you're doing it with, it's like, I'm going to plant this beautiful seed in the ground. I know it's just going to be like the perfect pumpkin or the perfect sunflower, the perfect opportunity, the perfect situation. And, and I've been getting this too. It's progress over perfection, but I really feel that it's more practice over perfection. So you're applying this sense of balance that you align with in the first season, and it's going to lead to this feeling of innocence and optimism and hopefulness in the second season. Let's keep going. Let's get into the third season here. Oh boy. You're wrapping up a cycle around your romantic connections. It doesn't mean you're going to be swapping partners, wife swap or husband swap. What was that? Where they swap spouses? No, it just feels like there's a shift going on in the romance department for you, specifically in the third season, where you're wrapping up some lessons and you're stepping into a graduation point on the journey in a connection that's quite powerful. I'm feeling a very strong pull in this connection. It could be something that you're dealing with all year long, but because we have the Fool here, you could be starting, and for those of you who are single, there could be a strong indication of someone coming in the second season, and then you starting a whole new journey and making a choice in love by the third season, by summertime. All right. Let's see. Ooh, now we have rebirth, death, rebirth in the final season, which is perfect for autumn. All right. It's hard to know exactly what's going on here, but I see this is going to be a very big year around you aligning with your fate, your destiny, staying very balanced in your input and output. Like there needs to be a mutual reciprocity here in the things you're pouring yourself into. You have so much hope. And there could be a new connection coming in. It doesn't have to be romance. Lovers can be anything that is just basically someone's mirroring back to you what you want and what you need, because the foundational energy here is around you aligning with an energy that you want to be experiencing in another. And this could come in the form of multiple dynamics or one singular dynamic that's very, very important. Now, let's layer this with some sacred activations. Let's find out what the major sacred activation is for the year for 2025, Leo. Wow, those two want to come out. I love it. We got soul surrender, folks. And isn't that so? When you have the sun, the star, and the wheel of fortune, we have number 37. The energy of soul activates our connection to the part of us that is closer to the higher realms, God or the divine. My goodness, I told you I felt this really strong, I actually been contemplating this energy lately. Like, what happens when you actually get off the karmic wheel and then you step into that new arena? What is that like? You basically start stepping into the role of non-attachment, where it's this principle of allowing things to be as they are and not having expectation. And I see that you're learning that. You're learning from the higher realms how to exist in the soul frequency. And that is through the art of surrender, number 39. So the energy is going to be spiraling up. You're going to go on this ascension experience this year around aligning with yourself so intrinsically that extrinsically you actually feel like everything that's happening around you, it's not only balanced, but you can make these judgment calls and you can align with the frequency of being completely open and allowing things to be as they are. Now we have surrender. The energy of surrender supports us to let go of illusionary control and yield to the flow of love and life. Yep. You are going, this is the year you go. Oh, I'm so sorry. I mean to hit that. This is the year that you go with the flow. Leo, that's going to be your biggest advice. Go with the flow of things. Try not to control. It's going to be a game changer. I just heard. It's going to be a game changer, Leo. All right, let's see. Let's now find out what the major activation, sacred geometry activation is for the first season. We have emergence, which with this judgment, right? This is a powerful card. We have the archangels trumpeting, waking you up from, some of you from your slumber. Maybe you were getting complacent or too comfortable. And now you want more balance in your life by the decisions that you make, by your habits, by your behaviors. We have emergence. The frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with a childlike attitude of innocence and wonderment, and to watch and celebrate the beauty that unfolds from that place. Leos. And look at that. It's like this emergence of like, I want to live in wonderment, and I'm going to allow things to flow. I'm going to flow with life. I'm just going to flow with the energy. I'm going to vibe with it. Yeah, you're showing me that you're mastering that in the first season, and you're actually living it in the second season. Wow. Emergence. I love that. This is fascinating, Leo. You're definitely going to experience a high this year. A strong high with what you are experiencing, vibrationally speaking. Fourth chakra. And what does that happen? What happens? You go into a heart awakening experience. So the second season, your fourth chakra is really going to be lit up. The energy of the heart chakra supports our inner guidance system, which is governed by our heart and the capacity to love deeply. Dare I say, it looks like you may have a situation, this could come in, love can come in many forms. I was actually talking with a friend about that today. It's like, there's eros love, which is romantic love, and there's platonic love. And, and either of them can be deeply spiritual types of loves. And you're showing me that you are opening to something new that is going to awaken your heart and lift you up into a higher, more ecstatic state of being. And this does feel like there's another person joining you in this, whether you're continuing with a relationship, trying to bring it into balance the first season, and you're in a brand new beginning with this person, or you're calling in someone new. This is someone that you're meant to be with, learn from, because you have ultimate wish fulfillment and alignment and joy, and you having your karmic destiny come in. We're talking, it's hard to really classify these things, but when you think of the difficult karma, which is unfinished business, past lifetimes coming in that really affect us, and then you learn from those experiences, and then you go to what I call more of the good karma, right? Of I'm mastering the wheel, and I'm no longer playing victim to my life experiences, and I can choose, I have free will. And then you're in the control seat, right? So, and not in the place of I'm controlling this, but you are a master of your own reality, because you realize that the thoughts you think and the things that you experience are coming from what you believe. I hope I'm making sense. I think you know what I'm getting here, is that you're learning the deep spiritual lessons that maybe confined you or confounded you in the past. And now you're applying these energies, and it's totally allowing you to embody higher states of consciousness, basically, which is heart-centered energy, being wide open to what comes in and not forming any level of strong attachment to that. Wow, this is quite beautiful and miraculous, Leo. I mean, your year is about soul surrender. And it's going to bring wonderment in the winter, the first season. It's going to bring heart chakra with your inner guidance system, with the capacity to love even more deeply. This is you falling in love with everything, right? Everything. Being in an ecstatic state, in a higher vibrational state. It supersedes our relationships. It supersedes everything. It's definitely like there's a part of you emerging out of you surrendering to these aspects of your eternal nature. And let's find out what's going on with this world and lovers. Empowerment. The frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely. uniting us with others in the deep trust that we're all connected through the same source. Yeah, you're going to be pouring a very, very deep, deep level of your own energy into a connection in the third season that is going to help empower you in ways you've never experienced. I believe you have something coming in that's very powerful for you. It is in the form of you in your relationship energy. Maybe if you haven't had the experience of true balance in a connection, you're going to actually go into this rebirth process in 2025 from your soul's perspective, and you're going to experience something new. This is a new love vibration. It's very Aquarian. It's like peace, love, and joy. And I can't believe this, Leo. I'd say it's going to be a beautiful year. Fertility. And that is in the final season with death and rebirth. The frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. Leo, my mouth is on the ground. I mean, if I do know that a lot of people that are drawn to this channel are drawn to the spiritual path. And that's why I do talk about it a lot, because we can talk all about, wounding and karma and pain and suffering, or we can talk about empowerment and wonderment and divine source energy and magic. And there's a huge contrast between the two. One is I am powerless and helpless. And why are all these things happening to me? And the other is I am powerful beyond measure. And I create my own reality. And I am the embodiment of the divine, and I am living from a place of true self-expression. And let's now clarify these energies. I would say that you're going to have a really fun year, Leo. You need to trust in your discernment, trust in the soul growth you've had, and your energy that is emerging. I mean, you're being cracked open this year, but not from suffering, from joy, from joy. How about that? How about bask in that? Bask in the joy and the light, Leo. Now, let's clarify these three energies here in the center of your reading, which is the sun, the star, and the wheel of fortune. Why are they here, Spirit? They said shuffle one more. Why are those three here for your theme for the year? I mean, that is like enlightenment. This is enlightenment. I can't get over this. I'm just like, okay, Leo, maybe there's a minute. I took a minute between the readings that I was doing and then doing you. And I know I skipped to Libra. Your energy needed to simmer a little bit. I'm glad I waited because this is big energy. Okay, now we're going to get, I'm like, come on, there's got to be a hitch here. Where's the hitch? Yeah. I'm going to tell you what not to do this year so you can really step into this high timeline. Yeah. This is about you holding boundaries, and whatever brings you mental anxiety and stress, you need to say no to it. Yeah. I told you, you've been on this really deep healing path. And when you rest and you restore and you recalibrate to your own frequency, your own energy, and you have healthy boundaries, right? All these swords. You've learned a lot from the things that confused you, having to try to figure people out. You know how much energy we waste trying to figure out the behaviors and actions of other people, only to realize we can't control how anybody shows up. And what's the point in trying to figure that out, right? People are complex. The only thing we can truly figure out is ourselves. And so I think this is what Spirit is saying. If you truly want to stay in alignment, right, which is your own alignment with self, sun energy, right, your own energy being, right? Your vibrational frequency, you and you, not you and someone else. And stay aligned with your own healing and be a master of your wheel of destiny here. You don't do this. So Spirit is showing me what you've learned in the past is how to have healthy boundaries and how to heal from having permeable boundaries. Basically letting people in that maybe confuse you, that don't have your best interest, that are there to teach you something around non-attachment, around not controlling the other. And so this is what we do when we control the other, or we try to figure out why they do what they do, because we're attached to an expectation. Well, they're supposed to do X, Y, Z. You know how hard it is to step out of this state, especially when people are bewildering. So I think you've realized from your past experiences, especially with the level of healing that you've done on a soul level, is I will get myself into trouble if I don't hold healthy boundaries with the people who actually confuse me and get me all stuck in my head. It literally is you loving yourself enough to protect your own energy frequency. So that if someone's coming in and you're starting to get really like all anxious, chances are you're picking up on that person's vibrational frequency. Their anxiety becomes your anxiety. And then you're like, why am I even anxious? I wasn't even anxious before. So you're becoming more and more mindful of the way people affect you. And I think as long as you practice wisdom and discernment, this is true discernment, Queen of Swords energy, and the healing that you've done is to step away from the anxiety and stress over overthinking your path. This is truly soul surrender and flowing with the energy. But that's easier said than done. So you're going to have these moments this year where you're going to feel like, uh-oh, I know this energy. It's like the minute you drop into that lower frequency, and I just posted this on my page on the community board, the difference between 3D vibrational states and 5D, very different. And so if you start to feel and go to that and take a picture of that on your phone and you start feeling like you're in a low vibrational state, read that. Read 3D. You're like, oh yeah, I'm in it. You don't have to be hard on yourself. You just recognize where you are. And that chances are just in that realization alone, it will allow you to grab a hold of higher states of being. And so you don't get stuck in that. So you have practice basically this year. It doesn't mean it's just a skip down easy street, but it's when you become aware, you're aware, right? You're not asleep. So I don't think you're going to stay asleep to the things that you're experiencing where you're feeling like things are happening to you and you have no control. You're going to recognize, oh, I'm anxious right now. Why? Well, because of XYZ that I'm experiencing in my external reality. Oh, okay, I'm going to a lower vibrational state. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to reach for a 4D, 5D state. And that's going to be your practice. And it's practice, right? It always is. And what is this emergence and this judgment and justice? Something is coming. You are coming into balance with you by not overthinking your path. Temperance. And again, this is like coming out up, sideways, upside down. You know, when I have an energy frequency that's not sure what it wants to be, this truly is about you being patient and letting things flow the way they're supposed to, without projection, without expectation. And I know that is so hard to do in this world because we want things. We think if we can control them, it makes our lives perfect and manageable. But you know what the thing is that it's the way we control things that makes it harder. So this is truly about patience and the way you merge with other people and their energy. Co-creation, working together with spirit from a balanced perspective. This is about you going inward whenever the energy feels off, and you're getting real good practice with it right now. Like literally right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. People tuning into this right now, you know exactly what I'm speaking of. Like, okay, when the energy's off, I need to slow it down and not project it onto the other person being to blame. I have a self-responsibility here for my energy in the room and what I'm allowing in and what I believe. And then you take another step back, and then you come back into that flow and you balance. So this is about you making the decision to come back into balance whenever you feel out of balance. They said leave it there. That's good and that's your lesson for the first season. You're mastering this lesson. And what's going to happen is you're going to step totally into the fourth chakra, the heart frequency, as a result of being in balance. Once you get into that state of I know what I'm doing, I can come back into my heart space, Jenna. I can just drop right in. You know, when I get up here, and then you drop right in. You're showing me that you're learning surrender. This is beautiful work, Leo. I am very, very impressed. Okay, but it does make it easy, yeah. 10 of Wands. Some of you could be letting go of something. Yeah. I see you really working hard in the first season to come back into balance with a situation that hasn't been balanced and making an important decision, because by the second season, once we hit into, was it April, May, and June, you are in some sort of opposition here. It's a state of resistance. And I don't know if it's coming from some outside force or an inside force, but you are in a brand new beginning. And this beginning will only occur if you stop fighting and creating more internal disturbances around whatever is becoming a burden in your life. Because at the end of the day, this is about your own personal fulfillment and satisfaction. That is the key this year. Soul surrender. How do I maintain a frequency of joy and alignment and of healing when the changes come in? It's like you're showing me how maybe ways you've operated in the past around changes in your life, about stressing about them too much. Worry, right? We're talking about worry. Once you decide, I don't want to live this way anymore. Well, okay, you can make that decision, but you've got to apply new principles so you don't fall prey to the old programming. So you're really a new being, a new way of operating is emerging within you in 2025, where you're going to move away from worry. But requires you to drop the burden where you're whatever is causing resistance within you so you can really fully embody being open-hearted. So in other words, you could be dropping your guard and letting new energies in and applying what you learned in winter and applying that and putting that into practice in the second season. I think you're going to be proud of yourself in the second season for staying open, especially when you're faced with opposition. And it's not the first time you face this. It could be a similar situation you've been dealing with, or just a same frequency of opposition where you just feel like, you know what, conflict's hard. I don't want to make it worse. I think it's time for me to put my own fulfillment first here, open up and go in. It's like, I do believe a lot of you are going into a new direction in the second season because you're having a hard time coming into balance in a situation that you've been overthinking. And instead you just let go and you let the energy flow and you don't push against it. Now, what is this? I do believe there's something new coming in. This could be you dropping the resistance to letting a new experience of unconditional love come in. Now, it doesn't mean it's a new person. It just means you're going a deeper layer of what you're willing to actually open up to in your heart. Page of Swords. Yeah, and that's the sign of new communication with someone. Yeah. A lot of you are experiencing a level of freedom, personal freedom, in the first half of the year, that when there's someone coming in that is going to kind of take you by storm, and you're going to immediately feel this heart pull to them. And again, you're going to have to determine whether this is an eros romantic situation or a friendly, platonic situation. Because some of you are really wanting eros connections and you're single and you want partnership, and some of you want more platonic spiritual connections. But here's the thing. No matter what is in because this is energy of relationship, right? The lovers, it's a choice. Do I want to love this person or not? It doesn't have to be romantic. It's platonic. I really need to make a distinction here, because a lot of people watch tarot and it's all love life, ad nauseum, right? And how can I speak to one person when I'm talking to thousands of people about their own love life? So I want to talk to you about the highest frequency possible that you can experience, which is less resistance around whatever you want to let into your life, whether that's a new physical partner or a spiritual partner, or friendship, right? When I say partnership, it doesn't mean it has to be romance. A lot of people think that some readers emphasize that. And yes, I know that a lot of tarot emphasizes that. But in this channel, this is about illuminated tarot. I want you to be illuminated in your own sense of self, your own sovereignty. So when you experience your life, you're living on the highest timeline possible. And you're not falling prey to very difficult hardships and sufferings, right? Because of the choices that you're making and what you're allowing. And I see here that you're wrapping up a cycle and a very deep lesson around conflict and around the overburden of keeping your heart open to something. And I think you're going to let something go in the second season. It feels like someone in the second season. I don't know who it is to you, but that feels like the energy. The third season, you're going to feel like, oh, that was the right thing to do. I feel more empowered. And I'm wrapping up this cycle, right? Especially around who I choose to give my heart energy to, right? Platonically or romantically. Because at the end of the day, I need to learn from the experiences that leave me feeling like I'm in bondage and I can't really trust that I can be completely myself in this connection. So I see that this year has a lot to do with you not overthinking your path, focusing on your healing work, surrendering to the soul perspective, holding healthy boundaries against energies that will not align with you, that are incongruent to you. Taking a stand and actually holding the boundary as hard as it is and putting yourself first and your own emotional harmony first so that you can learn that once and for all. And you can look at the ways that whatever makes you feel trapped, that you cannot trust, you have a determination in that moment to break free of it. So you're basically emancipating yourself from connections that aren't aligned with you because you're raising to a higher frequency this year. And there's going to be people that aren't going to be able to come with. This feels like it's not even about one person. It could be multiple people in your life. This is looking at your group of friends and saying, wow, maybe I like to party with these people for a while, but this isn't alignment in with me. And I feel like I'm going into a lower vibrational state when I'm around these people. And that's your key. Do you feel uplifted after interacting with these people or this person? Or do you feel like you're devolved, that you've gone to a lower frequency? If you're all about reaching a higher state, right, a higher feeling, a higher vibration, which you're telling me, you have the sun, the star, and the wheel of fortune, and I can't sit here and say, oh, it's just going to magically happen to you, That's not how tarot works. You get to decide, right? We have free will. And you're showing me, oh, I got it, 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 I got it. And then you become empowered. And you have more self-mastery. And this is beautiful, Leo, because we stumble, we fall, but then we get back up again and we learn and we grow. And this is a very big year of you wrapping up karmic cycles, stepping off of that wheel and not choosing hard anymore. You can choose hard lessons or easier lessons. Lessons only become hard when we refuse to learn them. Okay. Spirits being around. Spirits talking. They're talking. Page of Wands. And that means maybe, by year's end, you feel like you just need to give yourself that self-love. We have the King of Cups, the Page of Wands in reverse. After you coming out of this, I need to really do the research and study the situation, Page of Swords, into the Eight of Swords, ouch, stuck, and the Seven of Swords. See, you have this propensity, and I'm seeing this all over the place, Leo. When you fall prey to the mind in trying to overanalyze the situation, it will put you in a frequency of anxiety. And you're trying to heal that. Basically, the worry mind, right? The monkey mind. This would be the year that you need to cultivate a meditation practice. This would be the year you need to make sure you're doing all those spiritual things, right? So you can be more present. Because what I'm seeing here in the final season is this fertility, this more creativity, right? More open, more courageous, more joyful. A newer expression of yourself. The Page of Wands one to come in reverse. It's like you could be going through, this feels just a little bit like a little mini dark night of the soul where something that you had a high expectation toward was denied you. But you, in that denial of it, you actually emerged a stronger, more powerful being. And it could be something you're experiencing that's hitting the second season. I don't know what it is because there's so much sword energy here and fire energy. There's not any, actually, what's fascinating? There's not one single pentacle on the board this year. This is all about your major arcana and your major growth, right? And you getting out of your head and allowing your mind to control your world and your thoughts to control your world. You may have a situation come in that you're not aligned with, that you put an end to. Let me get some more information on this Page of Wands in reverse. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah. There's a situation that you're going to say no to, and you're going to have so much self-love because of it. There's the pentacle. Interesting. That's the only pentacle that's come out. Let me get some more. You're not going to invest in something because you're going to put yourself first. I don't know what it's about, but it's going to be important for you. Yeah, you're leaving someone out in the cold. This year could all be you trying to let go of an attachment in your life. Again, I do not know who this person is to you. We have strong Libra, Sagittarius, Gemini. There's a lot of swords here, so there's a lot of air energy that you exchange with this person. So this person puts you up in your head. They do. They put you up in your head. You're trying to heal this so you have healthier boundaries and you don't allow your energy state to go all crazy. This person, the way they operate, if this is about someone else and the way you're relating to them, you're trying to balance out these energies this year. I do feel that you need to practice a lot of self-love this year, and whatever needs to be transformed, it's going to come through your denial of feeding it in a way that causes you too much stress and anxiety. Because you have other fertile things that you need to focus on, which is basically your own creativity, your own joy. It's like if you have enmeshed yourself a bit with somebody in your life, where there's so much enmeshment, you don't know where you end and they begin. This is the year you separate yourself a little bit and you become your own person more so than you have in the past. Now, if you don't have this enmeshment and you've already been quite solitary, this is you coming into balance. There's someone in your life, Leo, that I'm seeing here that there might be some codependency with. It could be a child. It could be a sibling. It could be a partner. But this year, you're going to be learning a lot from it. And it's going to be up to you what timeline you ride with it based on the boundaries you hold. All right? I'm seeing two different timelines here. One of, I've put my healing work first. I'm going to stay in balance. I'm going to stay wide open with my heart. I'm only going to choose connections that feel like they're higher frequency for me. And I'm going to have the most fertile experience possible. Or the other timeline is I'm going to stress and worry the heck out of everything going on in my life. I'm going to be overgiving. I'm going to be in a state of resistance and asking for my needs and pushing against people that don't give them to me. And I'm going to feel trapped in my situation because I'm not going to be honest about how I'm really feeling. And I'm going to feel abandonment and rejection wound again and again and again. You see the difference? That's the possibility of the contrast for you this year. I've never seen it this way in tarot, in a reading where you literally have a 3D timeline and a 5D timeline to choose from. And it really depends on what you want. You have the opportunity to experience soul surrender and have a new vibrational reality and a new version of you emerge at the beginning of this year, where you were living in your fourth chakra embodiment and you are in your own empowerment and everything around you is just completely transformed. Or you live in the lower timeline and you don't soul surrender and you don't operate from the higher timeline. Fascinating. This has been a fascinating one. I love it. I absolutely love it because some of you totally understand what I'm talking about. And others of you, and I'm not saying, and here's what I want to make the distinction too. 3D isn't bad. It just means, it's almost like when we have to go back and repeat a lesson. And I've done this many times. You know that when you date the same person and it's, the same energy, different face. This is that experience where it's like, it doesn't mean it has to come from dating. It could be from a family member and your relationship with them and the codependency there. Taking responsibility for other people's well-being, right? Let's get some advice. I don't want this to get too long. Oh, Lordy. Is that 39? Goodness. Yes, it is. Okay. Let's end this here. Yep. I'll tell you what, this is about your personal sovereignty, Leo. And I know y'all are going to get me. You all are going to get me. And this is about your connections. This is your relational intelligence. How can you have love and still have independence? And that's what you're learning this year. And you get to choose which timeline you want to live out. There's going to be days where you're going to feel like I'm living the 3D reality and I feel like a victim and why is this happening? And I'm really worried. And there are going to be days where you feel like you're riding high. This is so fascinating. And maybe this is where things split this year for people. We stay in the 3D timeline, or we're more in the 5D timeline. Wow. Your advice is the Lovers, the Nine of Pentacles, Temperance, the Empress, and the Seven of Pentacles. So this truly is how do you want to co-create your reality this year, Leo? Because I'm seeing you got a choice here at the beginning of the year, and you're going to come back to this choice again and again and again, and you're going to learn. This is about how are you going to blend energies in your bonds where you actually can create more fertility, more creativity, more empowerment by staying sovereign and having your own sense of agency in what you give, right? And what you invest yourself in, your time, energy, and resources. That's the Seven of Pentacles. So you can stay aligned with more prosperity and more fertility. I see that you have the potential to co-create your own reality this year, and it's really what you choose. You can live in this beautiful state of fertile abundance, only putting into things that give back to you, or you can stay in a state of anxiety and worry and hold on to the things that aren't giving to you. Basically, settle for less. So, interesting. I have never had a reading come out like this. I love it. I absolutely love it. I know you all are going to get it too. I know a lot of you are going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. And those of you who don't, it's okay. Not everyone's going to understand. It's okay. I don't have any attachment to how people receive these. You know, you either understand it or you don't, and it's okay. You're drawn to it for a reason, and I want it to help you in some way so you can have the best experience possible. Guardian Angel, you are not alone. Guardian Angel, you are not alone. Gosh, I love that. This is your angel guide for the year ahead. So whenever you feel challenged by this dynamic, right, you are going to lean on your guardian angel. Watch for signs and reminders from your angels and loved ones that they are close by. Remember, they are working hard to guide you. The guardian angel card shows the white feather that has become known as the guardian angel's business card. Whenever a white feather, this is going to be your sign whenever you want to go into the higher timeline, into the newer version of you instead of the older version of you that tends to overstress and worry and has a lot of self-doubt and has a hard time speaking up about your needs. You're going to see a white feather, literally. Whenever a white feather appears in your life and or this card appears in a reading, it's a message to say your guardian angel and ancestor guides are particularly close at this time and are there to support you with their love. If you've asked for help with a particular situation, know that there is divine intervention in the works. Everyone has a guardian angel who has been with them in all of their past lifetimes and will be there in all the lifetimes to come. So know that you are never alone and never will be alone. This card is a huge reminder that there is always help and support available to you. Your guardian angel is with you now and is here to aid you in all of your endeavors. In order to fully receive their support, first ask for it, then surrender to the process. Know that whatever unfolds will be for your highest good. And that's the thing. When you surrender to the path and you say, I just want everything for my highest good to occur, and I'm not attached to anything, and you allow it to flow, you save yourself a lot of suffering because you're not attached to the way things should be. You're attached to the way they are, the way they show up. And you know how hard that is? It is where we are headed as a collective, because that is truly a higher state of consciousness. You have support in the higher realms for this journey ahead, Leo. And I know that you can do this, all right? They want you to know you're not alone on this path, because sometimes, I was talking to a friend about this, the higher you go in your consciousness and your frequency, the more the air is thinner and the less the people are around you, because not many people want to traverse a path of living in the fullness of their true self. You know, they're staying more trapped in the, you know, me versus you mentality, right? Me against the world, resistance. And when you align to a higher vibration and to a higher frequency, there's not as many people to join you there. But what is there is divinity, is higher consciousness. And that supersedes all relational intelligence in our 3D reality. It is unity. So when we tap into that, it's a renewable resource, right? Unity consciousness, 5D consciousness is love. It's always there. It's like a stream that you just dip your cup into, right? And you fill it. So they want you to know that if you ever feel low this year, dip your cup into that stream of cosmic consciousness, because they're there to help guide you and support you to a higher state of being this year. It's beautiful. Leo, My friends, I know you can do this. Ride the highest timeline possible, and it will be a year like no other for you. Okay? Namaste.